Hello everyone and welcome back to PRL. We're here today at Spain. As you can see, we've got 4 minutes left to quali. I did start the stream a little bit later because I was running a couple minutes late, and because for the most part nothing has happened. I think everyone is going to opt for the super soft or even maybe the softs, who knows. But before we get to the end of quali, I am going to quickly run through the current standards as they are. So in first place we've got Mixendit on 66 points, and in second place we've got Mishemery on 59. In third place we've got Spine, Mixendit's teammate, on 37, so a good strong start from the Sauber team. In fourth place we've got Killer Blue on 36 points, so it's quite tight between Spine and Killer Blue. In fifth place we've got Falcon, who is on 29 points, and then we've got Doom in sixth with 25 points, and we've got Louis, last week's race winner at Baku, on 25 points, so his first point scoring place of the season, and it was a race win. Absolutely incredible. Then we've got in 8th place the reigning champ Deki, who is on 24 points, so again very tight in the midfield. In 9th place we've got Lambo, who is on 22 points, and round up top 10 we've got Michael. Now I tipped Michael to be fighting for the championship. I know things have happened on track between him and Falcon, but I don't believe Falcon is here. Falcon isn't here, so for the most part Michael should have a good race. But Michael's all the way down in 10th place, and he is on, and I can get to the right, he's on 18 points, so he's at least 50 points down on Mixendit in first. Then outside the top 10 we've got Gary in 11th, Kalik in 12th, VSR Odems in 13th, Haribo in 14th, Rick 15th, Contera 16th, Neo in 17th, Jeff, who isn't here tonight because he's ill, so hope you get well soon, Jeff. He is in 18th place, Smithy in 19th, Racer in 20th, and we've got Max, who has been demoted to a reserve by his own choice, in last place. So now that that's done and out of the way, we can now get into qualifying it, and as you can see, Spine being the first of the many people to set a lap on the soft tyres. You can see everyone opting for the soft tyres apart from Killer Blue, who is still in the pits on the super soft tyres. But to see if we can go on board with someone. I see Haribo coming out of the pits. I think he is. Let's go on board with Smithy. I doubt Smithy gets that much TV time. So let's stay with Smithy. Of course, Spain being quite a demanding track, especially this middle sector. You can see here this corner here. You use the back end, get on the curb and exit. That's all qualifying more or less done. And see Smithy taking a very cautious line into the fast right hander. Again, easy for the back end to step out. Finishing sector 2, starting the twisty technical bit of sector 3. Traction needs to be good here, and it is from the Red Bull driver, but almost hitting Lambo there, who was off the racing line. And now Smithy comes to the most difficult part of the track, the final couple of corners. He needs to get this sequence of corners right, clips the apex on the exit, gets on the curb a little bit, looks quite clean from Smithy as he comes to the line, and he sets 17.4, so a good lap from Smithy there. And Odem's retired, he's in third place, so he set his lap, so can't improve much. So that lap from Spine, I mean, pretty good lap from him, must be said. But we've got the likes of Haribo, who I like to call a one lap merchant. He's rapid over 1 lap, and Michael as well, his teammate, down in 11th place. And we've got Louis as well, again someone who is being overlooked I think this season because he hasn't raced that much, and I do believe he is now a full-time Renault driver, so hopefully Louis can start to get himself up to standards again. I mean everyone knows that this man does have pace. I mean at one point last game, you know, I'd consider him the fastest on PS4, but nonetheless he's got 30 seconds to do a lap. I'm going to go on board with Louis for his lap, see what he can do. And there we go then, Louis in the Renault. Neo's retired, Mitch has put it P2, but I'm going to see if Mitch is on. No, he's not on the lap, so Mitch can't do much more. But look at Rick, a 16.8, same time as Spine, just a couple of hundredths out from the Sauber driver. And we've got Deki, he ain't going to be improving. Haribo in 6th place, or very aggressive. Decky goes 8th, I think. Nope, I think that was Lambo crossing the line. It is Contera coming through the fast left, right left, sorry. Louis has retired, so Louis must have made a mistake on his lap, and Louis has retired from the session. So everything I said about Louis, just delete that. Forget about what I said. But we're going to go on board with Haribo, who is coming to the end of his lap. I don't really know if he's up on his time or up on pole. Going to go off you on board, and Haribo comes to the line, and it's only a 17 dead. So it's looking quite interesting to see Michael actually set a 16.9. So Michael better in his team up. But look at Joom, a low 16.8, takes pole right at the end there. And the only person out is Decky, and he's in the pits, as is Mitch. You can see Decky overtaking Mitch into the pits. So I think that is it for qualifying, and I think Joom has actually snatched pole position there in the end. So well done to Joom, Spine and Rick, who are your top 3 for qualifying. As I think we're just waiting on Decky to retire from the session now, and then we'll have the full qualifying results, and then we'll get into the race. So as qualifying comes to an end here in PRL, we've got Dream on pole, not surprising given his recent form of pace. And we've got Spine in 2nd, Rick in 3rd, Michael in 4th, Mitch in 5th, Haribo disappointing 6th, has to be said from him, Gary in 7th, Odems again disappointing from him in 8th, expected much better from him, Contera 9th, Smithy qualifying inside the top 10. So I said that lap from Smithy was quite good, and it just shows how good it was. We've got Neo down in 11th place, Decky, the former champion, in 12th, Lambo 13th, Louis, an absolute disaster in 14th, and Killer Blue didn't even set a time. So it's going to be interesting to see what the guys outside the top 10 start the race on. But before we go to the formation lap, I am going to take a quick little break, have a drink, and I'll be back for the race. come to the end of formation lap as Doom lines his car up at the front of the grid. God only knows what Doom is thinking about. He wants to nail that start, wants to stay in front. It is a long run into turn 1, so I think the likes of I think Rick might be able to get a bit of a tow, and Michael as well. Don't forget Michael in 4th place. And the only people to not start on softs are Decky, so he started on the super soft, so Decky going for a more aggressive strategy. Then we've got the likes of Louis and Killer Blue, both Renault drivers on the back grid and on the medium tyres, but all eyes at the front of the grid. Can Doom keep P1 off the line? We're going to go to 5 red lights and lights out, and I think Spy might have got a slightly better start. He has. He's going to go alongside the Williams driver. Let's go with Michael to see what happens at the front. At the back, looks all pretty clean, and Spine takes the lead, but Doom right around the outside. Ferrari's touched a little bit. Oh, there's a big, I say big crash, but a couple of cars had a little bit of contact there. I don't think anyone lost their front wing though. Louis up into 12. He's looking for a move on Cantera, but I think the medium tyres are going to take a little bit longer to get into temperature. We've got Gary and Odems, 2 Irishmen going side by side. Ooh, that is front wing damage for Odems. It is, and Odems down the inside of Gary again. So this is Odems just cut in front of him there. Oh, look at Decky up into 7th place, and now Decky wanting to move on Odems. He knows he's got wing damage. He would have seen that front wing fly off, and now Odems is a sitting duck for the 2-time champ. He's going to go down the inside. I mean, they both broke really late, but Odems, to be fair to him, although with that wing damage, done very well to defend it. But up at the front, Doom, a gap half a second to Spine. In the background, we've got Mitch and Gary going side by side. I think Mitch is making a move on Gary. So Decky's had a fantastic start up into P7. Odems into P6, and Odems, he faked a pit stop there and almost collected Decky in the process. Now that runs Odems wide. That's going to allow Mitch Emery to get a run on both of them. He's going to go down the inside of Decky. Is Mitch going to go? It's going to be tight. Oh, Mitch is off the track. Decky outbrakes him on them super soft tyres, and Decky keeps P6. But further back, we've got Lambo making moves around the outside of Gary. Gary being a bit of a sitting duck here the first lap or so. And he's been overtaken by everyone, and Smithy back down into 13th place. I don't know what's happened to Smithy. I think he was just overtaking Louis there. So as I said, the medium tyres are going to take a little longer to get into temperature, but up at front, I mean, I'm not really seeing any change. So we're going to go back to Lambo then. He's going to look for a move on his teammate. I think Odems knows. I think he's just going to let him by. He is. And now swoops in. But look at the Force India. Gary back down the inside of Irishman. Wanting payback. I think they both have wing damage as well. Gary backs out of it. Wires from Gary. But up at the front, I mean, Spine is keeping with Doom, and they are getting away from Michael, which is quite surprising. But Harry has found himself up into P4. So if these Ferraris work well, then they can both potentially manoeuvre their way around Spine and then maybe even Doom. So this race is not over yet, with the 2 Ferraris not having a Mercedes near them today. You've got to feel that Michael will finally get a good result, and maybe even Haribo as well, as Neo is now overtaking Louis. So I mean, I don't know what's up with Louis. He's losing places, and I thought he'd actually gain them. But we've got Gary now on the back of Odem still. This is the closest battle on track, I do believe. It is. And we've got Killer Blue now, so Killer Blue's joining this battle. So this could get very interesting, and Gary goes defensive. Not really a move on there though. Oh, Killer Blue's off the back end. That's going to promote everyone up a place, and now Killer Blue has to turn that runner around and try and claw his way back through the field. But Neo going for a move around the outside, and Gary defends it well. Excuse me, breaks later. Neo goes for a switchback, side by side. Gary defending that position very well. But further up the field, Lambo on the back of Decky. Decky not really doing much with them super soft tyres. I thought he'd be on the back of Mitch. be within DRS, but he isn't. Now Lambo is in within DRS of Decky. But at the front, top three getting a little bit closer. Neo going for a move on Gary again. I think that's move done, but look at this. Louis under pressure, breaks late, and keeps Smithy behind. So I don't know what's going on in this battle between these four guys. I feel like they just keep swapping position, but look at the run. Louis got Gary with that wing damage, will not be able to contend with Louis. We've got down the inside, fought twice about going for that move. Gary fought twice about defending it, but Gary does defend that pretty well. And Louis, I don't know what's going on with him, but look at this, Smithy down the inside of both of them. What a move from Smithy. I thought Smithy was done, but he's just made a move of the season so far, has to be said. Going down inside of Louis and Gary. Now round the outside, and he does keep that place, but Gary will fight back. Gary's a fighter, always has been a fighter. Louis down inside of Gary. A little bit of contact, a little bit of wheel rubbing. Who's going to come off worse? Oh, Louis almost off the track. Wow. Louis was almost off the track, and if he'd even touched the grass, his car would have just dragged to the outside of the track, and that would have been Louis' race more or less over with as Gary jumps the curb. Louis winning that better exit. Lambo now is right on the back of Decky. Lambo's going for the move. Down into turn one. Decky can't really do much. He might have to try and outbrake him. But Decky concedes the place, but he's going to try and go for a bit of a switchback. And you can see there how far he's closed in, but with that dirty edge, just has to lift off and let Lambo go. Otherwise he'd been running the trap up at the front. Michael going down the inside, or round the outside now with Spine. Who's going to break later? Spine's defended that pretty well, but Michael round the outside, better traction. Is Spine going to put up much of a fight? No, he isn't, and tucks in behind Michael. Now all eyes on Haribo, just picks up a time penalty, just trying to push save his teammate. You can see there, oh, getting wide as well, but he's got a better run. He's going to go for it here, definitely going to go for it into the hairpin is Harry. Oh, he thought twice about it, it's a late move. Spine, to be fair, read the move, and now, as I said, that is both Ferraris up into second and third, with Michael leading the charge. But don't forget, Haribo does have that time penalty, which he did just pick up. So it'll be interesting to see how this battle arises and whether Michael can actually close the gap to June and get within DRS. Because at the moment, Haribo is within DRS of his teammate, so we might see some team orders from these two. I know these two are in the same party together, so these guys will be communicating with each other and will, if one of them's faster, they will more than likely let the person go. At the moment, I think Haribo's a quicker driver. I know he's had DRS, but Michael is catching as well. So we're going to come back to that battle. Go back to back of the group. We've got Gary and Louis going side by side. Louis back down the inside, breaking late. Gary holds it round the outside. Louis now down the inside, and Louis, for some reason, just not on the pace today. Something I didn't expect to see. Someone as quick as Louis, and now Odem's losing place after place. He's now lost a place to Smithy. Odem tries to go back at him, but just not close enough. So now Louis needs to get the hammer down here. His tyres are 5 laps old. Them soft tyres are going to start to lose their grip in the next couple laps, and then everyone will be in for a set of medium tyres, and I think they will be able to go to the end from there. But we've got Mitch right on the back of Rick, so we're going to stay on board with Mitch, see what he can do. See him taking a much tighter line through this third sector, looking more composed than the Force India driver in front of him. See if Mitch can get a good launch off these last couple of corners he has. Spine's decided to go in for an undercut, so this will be a set of medium tyres, and now that Rick will still get DRS from Spine's car, but that ain't going to help because Mitch Emery's come in. He's gone down the inside into turn one. Yes, he's made the move, but Rick going to go for the switchback move. He wants a better run coming through here, but again 38 just can't keep the pedal flat to the floor, and you have to back out, and then that of course allows the car ahead to make the move. But the two Ferraris are still pretty close, and now Michael, I think Haribo might have given Michael the hurry up, and now Michael's starting to put the foot down, and he's bringing with him his Ferrari teammate, and now they've got a 3-second gap behind them to Mitch, who's done very well for the start. Rick, I don't think he's going to be able to come back. Mitch Emery, I don't think he is. Lambo solid 6th place. Odin picks up a time penalty. Of course, with that wing damage, that won't help. Then we've got Cantera all over the back of Decky. So Decky, them super softs are not helping. He needs to pit because them super softs look very worn. No doubt they look worn from the rear. Now you can just see how worn they are. So Cantera, if Decky stays out one more lap, I feel like Cantera will get this move done. So come around the final couple of corners. Decky stays out, so Decky will no doubt lose his place to the Williams driver, but he goes wide. That's gonna, well, we'll say that that's gonna allow Decky some breathing space, but it's not. Cantera down the inside. Decky ducks straight back behind to get the DRS and slipstream, sorry, but Decky locks up slightly into turn 1, and that now puts Cantera up into P7. Now Decky going forward, you know, trying to stay behind him and looking at that car when it's in dirty air, handles a lot better than what we've seen so far. So maybe Decky knew he was in for a fight, but up at the front, the gap now 3/10. These Ferraris are coming. I said that they'd navigate their way past Spine, they've done that. Spine is at the back because he did pit. And now Michael Ward over the back of Doom, he's got DRS. If I know Michael, he'll wait until the back straight though. You can see there Haribo in the background. I'm going to go on board with Haribo. But I'm going to go on board with Louis because he's right behind Odems now. So let's see if Louis can make this move on Odems, who of course is carrying wing damage. So this should be an easy move for Louis. I think Odems isn't going to defend it that much, and Louis down the inside. Odems going, oh, he's fighting though, he's Odems going for a bit of a switchback move. Going to go on board with Gary for this. And Odems almost off the track. And Louis does make that move. So good move from Louis and good defensive driving from Odems as well to not just, you know, give up. But I'm going to go back to the front because Michael's round the outside of Doom. Michael holds it round the outside. That's a good move from Michael. But look at Doom, he's going to get the much better speed coming through the fast right-hander. But no, Michael takes the lead of the race. And Haribo sort of, I think he just took a watching brief. But look at this, Odems and Louis side by side again. Still side by side. Louis thought this move was done with, but it's not. Now surely it is. And now of course Gary taking a watching brief. I mean, I've got to bid what Gary's thinking right now. Oh, I think Gary's got wing damage. Yeah, Gary's got wing damage as well. So Louis needs to put the foot down here. He's not got wing damage. You can see he's got his whole wing. I don't know what's going on with him today. He's just not on it. Not on it at all. But Odems still within DRS, so Odems would of course get DRS, but I feel like here you can just see how much Odems is having to turn the car in to make that McLaren go round that fast right-hander. And now back behind we've got Killer Blue on Gary. Gary defending that very beautifully indeed. Killer Blue locking, well not lock up, but went very deep. Excuse me. And it allowed Gary to stay in front, but I'm going to go on board with Doom, who's now trying to come back at Michael. Nothing happened now. Of course, Spine, don't forget Spine. He got the undercut, so don't count him out because he could come out with these guys when these guys do decide to pit. And you can see Doom picked up a time penalty there, so that could be very, very crucial towards the end of the race. Decky has pit. Decky's putting on a set of medium tyres, so he'll no doubt go to the end. But we've got Killer Blue now and Gary going at it again. Killer Blue making the move. Gary, he's itching to get back by, is he? He just can't keep the foot down in dirty air. And Killer Blue, that launch, is now right up behind Odems, who has lost touch to Louis, who may be finally starting to find his feet in this race. Lap 10. I mean, Louis will be happy to pick up a point or two, but Killer Blue on Odems. It's a good move from Killer Blue. I feel like Odems is a sitting duck with that wing damage, as is Gary, and now it's only a matter of time before Spine gets involved in this battle. But of course, if he battles with these guys, that's going to allow Doom, Haribo and Michael to get that overcut. Of course, at the moment, Spine is doing a very good job setting fastest lap after fastest lap, but of course, this is where things are going to get difficult because you've got two drivers ahead of you which have got wing damage. Of course, Spine won't know that, so we'll be catching them anyway, but with the added damage that they both have, I feel like Spine's just gonna concede here. But up at the front, Michael, has he made a mistake? I feel like he has, because he's 1.8 behind Doom, and Doom retakes the lead, so maybe Michael might have had a bit of a half spin, and now Mitch is now 2.5 seconds behind. But up where Spine is. Spine and Killer Blue. No, not on Odem, sorry. Odem's not really putting up much of a fight with Spine on them pressure tyres, and Odem's got that wing damage. You see how much he's lifting off. You can just see the time he's losing. And now look at Gary. 2 Irishmen still going into battle. But Odem's defending that position. That's it, but Gary's going to go for the traction out of the corner. Odem's is on the grass. Gary goes for it. It's late. There's contact. That was a half-hearted move from Gary there, but Odem's keeping the car in check, as does Gary. And now Spine can go after Killer Blue, well, both of the Renaults, because Killer Blue is now within DRS of Louis. So, I mean, we could see Killer Blue telling Louis to move out the way. He's a quicker driver, and at the moment it's showing. Because Louis just can't get the foot down. I don't know what's going on with Louis at the moment. Haribo decides to pit, so he's going to get the undercut of Michael and June. So we'll see where Haribo comes out in terms to Spine, who's coming around the final couple of corners now. Louis in DRS, Smithy pits, and Louis will get DRS, but I think Killer Blue is looking quite quick, so Killer Blue might get the move done here. Going to go to Spine though, who's not that far in front of Haribo actually. Wow, I mean, that's a massive undercut, and now Haribo comes out just ahead of Odem, so the wing damaged Odem's. So that's crucial for Haribo. He'll be telling Michael, you need to put in a good lap this lap and pit, otherwise you'll be caught out behind Odem's, who has had a pretty torrid start, but lap 12 still going with that wing damage. Pretty impressive to see. Just seems there's any more battles, and I think the closest battle was Neo and Quintero. I haven't really seen much of Neo this race, but I think Killer Blue, I think Louis might need to move out of the way here. I feel like he's hindering Killer Blue some pace here. First time I've seen Louis put under pressure here. Killer Blue, look, he wants it. I know they're not in a party together, but he's going to be absolutely livid if he doesn't let him by. June pits. Does Michael pit? No, Michael stays out. Wow. And June has got a 5-second stop go, so that 3 seconds, it goes from bad to worse for the Williams driver. And now Killer Blue, surely this is his chance. He needs to make sure this move is done before the end of the back straight. Will Louis let off at all? He's on 1. I feel like, yeah, Louis letting him by. Louis is on 1 ERS. I think that was it. So Louis letting his team up by. So good team player from Louis. And now Spine actually coming out just ahead of Doom, and Haribo gets a 3-second penalty for his worries as well. Now where is... oh, Michael stayed out. So I mean, if Doom and Spine fight, I mean, you've got Spine right up behind Louis now. So Louis could be seeing himself being overtaken by the front runners here. We've got Spine, then Doom, and then Harry. And then Rick, who's having a quiet race in 9th place, but I think he'll be in net P3 or 4. Killer Blue gets a time penalty as well. So that's going to kill his race off, but he is getting away from Louis. There's yellows in sector 1. Who is that? Don't know who that is. I mean, that must have been brief yellows. Does Michael pit? He does. Finally Michael pits. Now does Michael get a stop go? No, he doesn't. So Michael in the pits, Mitch is in the pits, Lambo's in the pits. Killer Blue, is he going to pit? Don't think he is. He'll be able to go a long way on the medium tyres. But look at this Spine all over the back of Louis. This isn't helping him at all. Michael, where is he? He's coming past. He's going to come out the pits. Is Michael going to get it? I think Michael's got it. No, he hasn't. Spine down the inside of Louis. Louis not putting on much of a fight. Gets the move done. Louis going to go for a bit of a switchback though. As I said, Louis round the outside. Oh, he's got the traction as Louis, but just can't make the move stick. And Michael, importantly, got out ahead of Doom. And Haribo's now right up behind Doom. So Doom is in a Ferrari sandwich. And I think at the moment Spine is your net leader. But with 7 laps done on their medium tyres, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to hold up Michael and Haribo and Doom, who are all on fresher tyres. But they have to navigate their way past Louis, who for the most part has been pretty easy to overtake. Normally he's quite difficult to overtake, does defend very well and very hard, but today I feel like Louis knows he's not on the pace of these guys and will have to concede Once Michael gets within that DRS, you can see how much he's catching, just the fresher tyres, how much grip they've got. I can't stand that noise of the over revving Ferrari. Oh my god, it's like an and oh, it is as well. Lewis is fine. So, I'm not going to go on board with Louis. I'm going to go on board with Michael. Oh, and Haribo's lagged out. Oh, absolutely calamity for Haribo. Louis defending the inside, so he's been a tough customer to Michael. Michael right around the outside. Oh, very close indeed. A little bit of contact. And Michael gets that move done. And now look at Joom. Joom's going to look for a move as well. Louis goes defensive again. So Joom will have to go right around the outside, and he does. That is a good move from Joom. Getting past Louis as quick as he did there. He needed to get that move done, and Louis, I mean, I'm shocked at his pace. I don't know what's happening. I mean, it might be something setup related. Who knows? But for the most part, this man is not on the pace today, which is something we're all not used to seeing. Oh, Louis almost losing the back end there. So that would have been terrible for Louis. And now Spine is 4 tenths behind his teammate Killer Blue. And by teammate I mean Louis' teammate. But Michael, importantly, is within DRS, as is Joom. And you've got to feel, I think Spine might even have to pit again. I'm not too sure. Spine is right on the back of Killer Blue. Killer Blue carries on. Oh, that back end of Spine not looking too healthy. Haribo losing positions. Terrible for him. He's not, doesn't have any luck. But Spine going down the inside of Killer Blue into turn 1. Will Killer Blue put up a fight? No, he won't. Look at Michael. He wants to get past as well. This could get hairy between the two of them. Michael's going to go for this dive. You can see it. Yes, he does. He goes for the dive. Killer Blue. I don't think he was expecting Michael to go for the move, but got the move done. And you can just see, I think this race is Michael's now. I think this is Michael's to lose. I think this is what Michael needed as well. Michael needed a race without Falcon, so he can show what he can do, and we're seeing it here. He's now right up behind the current championship leader, Spine, who has done 7 more laps on their medium tyres, so it's not looking great for Spine, excuse me. And now Michael, all over the back of him. I think Michael just looks more composed in that Ferrari today. Been a hell of a drive from Spine, no doubt, and Joom, to be fair. And now Joom is right up behind Killer Blue. Killer Blue is going to get a bad exit. He cut the corner there to Killer Blue, and he did let Joom by, so fair play to Killer Blue. And now Michael on the back of Spine. So come down to start, finish straight. He is closing. I don't think he's going to have enough time to go for a move. He is. Spine goes defensive. Michael round the outside. Michael backs out of it, but he's going to go for the switchback move through the first couple of corners, get the better exit. And he's going to go for a dive like we saw last lap on Killer Blue. He's closing. No, he doesn't. Stays behind. So Spine doing a fantastic job defensively. Going to go further down the field now, see if there's any more battles. We've got Rick on the back of Lambo. The gap's sort of been at 7 tenths for a while now. Decky now within DRS of Cantera, so this could be a battle between Haas and Williams. And we've got Smithy in 12th. Not really gaining, he's just gained a 10th there, but I mean, other than that, I mean, this is the closest battle on track as it stands, and in between the top 3, so we're going to go on board with Joom, so I don't get the over revving glitch on Michael's Ferrari. Coming through sector 3 again, Michael just looks way more composed than Spine, but Joom himself, he looks on the pace still, but of course them time penalties, I feel like he ain't going to be winning the race today. Unlucky Haribo, man. Yeah, I commented on your luck. But Joom gaining. Michael hasn't got DRS, so I think Michael might have a DRS problem. Michael would just go down the inside. No, he doesn't. So I think Michael might have a broken DRS, which is point in the race is crucial. But he's going to go down the inside. Is Michael through the fast right-hander? Be a good move if Michael can put it off. Spine, he's going to hang it around the outside though. And I think Michael, for the most part, has got that move done. Spine's going to come back at him. No, Michael locks up, trying to break as late as he can. Spine They're still side by side. Michael getting a better traction though. Is Spine going to back out? No, he doesn't. Michael round the outside. Fast left right hander. Oh my god. How have they not crashed? And now Michael takes the lead. Oh, Spine almost losing the back end there. That's going to allow Michael to get some breathing space. But of course, June with one of them time penalties. I don't know. If he gets past them both, he needs to get by. But look at this, yellows in sector 2. Oh, Smithy! Wow, Smithy is off. So Smithy will have to pit. He's got no front wing at all, and I think Smithy is going to call it a day. He has. So the Red Bull driver having a torrid time this season, but back up at the front. Michael goes defensive. Spine not close enough, but June might be to make a move. And I think June's going to go for it. Is he going to go for it? No, he doesn't. June thinks better of it. Spine goes a bit wide. He's in sector 3. Who is that? Louis. It's not Louis. Killer Blue. I think Mitch just got past Killer Blue, so I do apologise for missing that move. But oh, Spine off the track. June down the inside. No, Spine gets a much better traction coming out of that corner. Louis on the soft tyres now, so maybe Louis can show what he can do. But on soft tyres, he needs to go 14 laps. I don't see it happening. Personally, but Michael now, that gap now up to a second, so importantly Michael has broken that DRS. No, he hasn't. Spine has still got DRS, as has June. So again, these top 3 all within a second of each other, so I reckon it's going to come down to time penalties, and if one of them makes a terrible mistake. But Killer Blue still within DRS of Mitch, so a bit surprised by Killer Blue's pace as of yet. But I mean, that front left doesn't look too healthy, and he's done 18 laps on them, so Killer Blue should be into the pits, and he is. Both Renaults will make their pit stops. Spine gaining on Michael. Michael breaking the slipstream, breaking the toe, and defends that position quite nicely, and June can't really get past. So I feel like now you're going to see maybe Spine's tyres start to lose that little bit of performance. You can see already how much time they're losing. Of course, Michael on a much fresher rubber. You can see 7 laps fresher tyres for the Ferrari driver, and you can just see how much time Michael's able to gain as he locks up. That's not going to help his tyre wear though, is it? And now we've got roles reversed in the Renault team. Killer Blue, is he going to let Louis by? I mean, we'll find out, because I'm going to stay on board with this battle between the two drivers. Louis is going to be pushing for an overtake. He might be able to get it if he just keeps the back end in check. Can Louis get an overtake? No, I think Killer Blue's going to keep it with that run that he's got. But up at the front, Michael, is he under pressure from Spine? I don't think he is. June, not really going to challenge Spine. And Michael defends P1 quite nicely again. Going to go to Lambo now, he's within 7/10 of Rick. And he's closing, but I just can't stay as close as he can. And now breaks away later and does still make the apex, so fair play to Lambo. But Louis, 6/10. I don't know what's going on with Louis today. He is not on the pace whatsoever. So I don't really know what to say about Louis. I mean, he might be setup related, who knows, but I've seen Louis do bits with default setup, so can't really be that bad. So I don't know what's going on with him today. But sector 1 and 2, there's yellows. Oh, Louis out! Where has Louis binned it? Oh, you can see where he's binned it. His Renault on the left there in absolute pieces. Wow, now was that to do with Killer Blue or not? Who knows? But Louis is out of this Spanish Grand Prix, something I did not expect to say at all this stream. And of course Louis instantly leaves the session. I guess we'll see what happened to him and why he was so slow, because I just wasn't expecting him to be so slow. But Lambo now on the back of Rick. Can Lambo make the move? June is now within 3/10, so these top 3 are closing in quite by quite a distance each lap. But Lambo just not close enough. Oh, he's closer though this lap. I just can't stay with Rick the whole lap. Now Neo and Decky going side by side. I think Neo making the move on Decky. Decky not gonna fight, not gonna just lay down and let. Oh, well, I guess he is. But I mean, that dirty air through the fast right hander is so. This is so off-putting. You turn in, and your car just does not want to grip. The front end just wants to go off the track, so you've got to lift off. And Decky has lagged out. Wow, I was on board with him then, and he's just gone. But oh, look at this, June. Now right behind. Ah, Spine picks up a penalty as well. So at the moment, Michael's got a pretty good buffer to Spine and June. I think both of them have time penalties. I'm going to quickly just have a quick look. Oh, Spine's got 2 penalties. 3 penalties, okay. Wow, June's got... Oh, okay. So Michael, I mean, by far... June picks up another penalty. Sick. So Michael's got a buffer of about, I'd say, 6 to 9 seconds. And now June going for the move down the inside. June back up into P2. I think it is net P2 as well, with Spine's 9 seconds worth of penalties. So now can June put up a fight to Michael, who today has been exceptional. This is the Michael we all know and want to see. But I mean, I feel like Michael's going to win this race purely just because of the time penalties. I don't think Michael has any. And you can see there, not even a single warning from the Ferrari driver. So just impressive how quick and consistent this man is on his day anyway, and when he's not by Falcon. But anyway, Spine up into P3. We've got Killer Blue and oh no, that's Decky's lagged car, not lagged, but disconnected car. Lambo now, he is catching Rick, but again he'll get this close and down through the final couple of corners. Just can't stay with the Force India. We're going to stay on board with him and see exactly where he loses time. But Rick loses the back end. This could be Lambo's chance. He's going to get all out of shape. Is Rick. This is Lambo's chance now. He knows this is his chance. He's been staring at the back of that Force India for much of his stint. And now can he finally make a move? He's getting very close. He's getting a lot closer. Rick defends it. Lambo's going to have to go a long way round the outside, but return to the inside for turn 2. Turn 2 now down the inside. Rick can't really put up much of a fight. And again, through this fast right hander, the dirty air is so bad. You have to lift off, and that of course allows the car ahead to keep the place. But now Spine is actually losing time to Doom and Michael. So Spine might think of a pit stop, but Michael, that had to have been a warning. He went very wide there, and you can see, yeah, that was a warning for Michael. So is Michael feeling the pressure of Doom? Could be, we could see a flurry of penalties from the Ferrari driver, but I doubt it. Michael's been in this position many times. He knows what it takes to win a race. He knows how to be consistent. Oh, again, Michael goes wide though. So me saying that, I mean, Doom is starting to put him under pressure now. Now Mitch is starting to catch Spine. So I think Spine might have to pit again, because them tyres are looking like the performance is just wearing off, and Michael breaking the toe, breaking the slipstream. Does his 2 moves, so with Doom was to catch now, Michael can't do anything about it. And it is now Doom who is now catching and putting Michael under pressure, but going further down the field, Rick is now in Lambo's position. He has to see the back. Excuse me. He has to see the back of that McLaren now for maybe the rest of the race, because you can just see the Lambo not in dirty air. I think these two are pretty even on pace though, barring Rick's mistake the last couple laps. I feel like they are definitely even on pace. But now I'm going to go back up to Mitch, who's now within DRS of Spine. Doom and Michael getting very close, but I'm going to stick with Mitch, who's again had a quiet race and proven his worth, proving that he has got the pace, and he's now going to be in a net P3. Oh, look at that, he's going to go down the inside. He is. What a move. And I think Spine, I think he just made a mistake, knew Mitch was going to go for it, and Spine, is he going to pit? He is, so another pit stop for the Spine pits, comes out P9 behind Killer Blue, so we might see some overtakes from the Sauber driver towards the end of this race. Going to stay and keep an eye on the gaps between him and Killer Blue. But I mean, at this moment in time, there's not really much going on. So lap 26 here, going to take you through the order. Michael in P1, Doom P2, Mitch in P3, Lambo P4. So good race from Lambo. Rick in P5 again, good race from him. Quintero in 6th, Neo in 7th, Killer Blue 8th, Spine in 9th, of course, just pit from P3. Gary in 10th, Odems in 13th, Decky and Haribo, of course, lagged out. So sad to see from Decky and Haribo. I know it's not their fault. I know they can't control whether they lag out or not, but you know, Haribo, who was fighting for the lead with the likes of Michael, Doom and Spine, you know, something you don't want to see. Oh god. In my opinion, who's the best driver in the league and why? That's a difficult one. I don't know, Smithy. That is a very hard question to answer, because at different times drivers have impressed me. Like one race Michael will impress me, next race it'll be Haribo, then it'll be Spine. Okay, in terms of, okay, I'm gonna do it like a two-part answer. So in terms of from this season, so let's say beginning of this season to now, I would definitely have to say, from this season to, I'd say either McSend or Spine, purely because it's been their debut season and they're both up there in the stands and they're both shown. You can see here, Spine got, oh, as I say that, contact in the wall, Killer Blue. So I'd have to say McSend it then, but after what happened there, I'd say McSend it from the beginning of this season to now. In terms of from what I've seen, from last season to now, I don't know. Again, if Decky was up there, if Decky was still fighting for wins, then I'd say Decky, hands down. But no, I think from this season and last season, I'd have to go with Michael. I don't know. I feel like Michael's just, you know, that guy you can rely on to get a good result. But yeah, it's so hard to choose from. You got Mitch, who's been very consistent. He's had a good couple races as well. Haribo, yeah, if you didn't bottle in the race and you converted your 1 lap pace into getting a race win, and yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. So hard. This like with this league, it's not like most leagues where, you know, in the league you've got a top division where you've got, I don't know, 2 maybe 3 drivers who, you know, who you go, yeah, like that. It's going to be between them 3 each race. Like this league, you've got 7, 8 drivers who can win a race. So it's going to be, I'd say it's still early days for this season. I'd say give it till midpoint and we'll see. We'll see where we stand. Does that mean you think Sendit will take the title? Personally, I don't think he will. We've seen Michael, the races he's had this season, you know, it's not necessarily been his fault as to why he's got such a bad result. We all know why Michael's got bad results. We don't need to go into detail why he's got bad results. But we're seeing today, without a certain someone in the race, you know, the Michael we could have seen for the first 4 or 5 rounds. So again, not really much more to say, to be honest. But yeah, man, there's so many drivers here who can take a win. I mean, Doom has got, I think, a win this season. Michael, if he carries on like that, is going to win a race. Mitch has won a race. You know, Louis, who, you know, didn't show his pace today, but he won last week in Baku. You know, it's just so topsy-turvy at the moment in terms of race results and who's going to win the title. I don't know. I mean, you know, even Neo's rapid, 7th place, something you don't expect from him. You expect him to be, you know, at least top 5. Then you got Lambo, you know, Rick, who's showing incredible pace at the moment. Like to Gary, who's improving at the game as well. You know, guys who last season were nowhere, but this season they're fighting with the big boys, and especially in this league. This league last season was competitive enough. This season, man, it does blow most leagues out of the water in terms of just straight 1 lap pace. But I mean, just shocking, really, at how many quick drivers there are in this one division. If you look at the grid now, you know, Michael, who's won multiple championships, Doom, you know, who's won multiple races, Mitch, who's won multiple races, Lambo, who's, I think, in a couple of other top tier leagues, Rick, I don't really know much about Rick, but I know he's in 5th place, so he must have some pace. Quintera, I know, on his day is quick. Neo is quick. Gary on his day is somewhat quick. Spine, quick. Decky, 2-time champ, enough said. Haribo, 1 lap merchant, but he's still very quick. Odem's quick. Louis, rapid. You know, guys who, you know, if everyone stayed in the session and, you know, none of the crashes didn't happen, man, we would have at least, I'd say, a 7-8 car fight for the lead every race. Excuse me. Well, I'm just going to quickly go back on my comments. I think the game is a bit iffy and a few other coincidental things. I think the season has lost the heat. I think if every race goes like this race, but with 20 people, no lag outs, I think it will be the best league on PS4. Used to be a yeah, Smithy, I get that point about used to be a massive buzz around races. I used to, you know, look forward to commentating this league because it'd be, oh, who's going to win today? You know, can Decky beat Kara? You know, that's what the buzz was about. You know, like Decky and Kara, the 2 of them going at it on track. You know, this season it has lost its buzz, but hopefully, you know, the things that have happened in the last couple races improve. And, you know, as Haribo said, if it continues like this for the rest of the season, then it's going to be absolutely incredible. I mean, at the moment, this race died on lap 26. So from lap 1 to lap 26, we had Michael, Doom, Spine, all fighting for the win. Mitch not really far behind, but, you know, any mistake and he was going to pick up a place, and he has with Spine pitting. You know, Lambo as well, picking up consistent results on a daily basis. You know, it's just, oh, Smithy, don't. You know, I don't know, when I got asked to race in this league, I flatline said no, because I feel like I had to get shown up. Sort of, Haribo, sort of, but you know, it's like it last year though. It's the same as last year, just one stop. But because safety car's on, it does add that little bit of a will the safety car come out. So, I mean, I know we're never going to see the safety car unless Codemaster's actually updated to where it does come out more frequently. But whether we see that or not, Who knows? I hope we do, because it would. I mean, if a safety car came out on lap 28 of this race, you know, it would make it so much more interesting. Smithy, you're not slow, man. On your day, Smithy, you can get a top 5 result easy. Anyone could on their day. That's just how competitive this league is sometimes. But other than that, Michael was on the last lap, and he's about to take the win here. So, I mean, if Michael could continue this form, then he'll definitely be a contender by the end of this season for that title. But it's going to come around the last couple of corners. It's been an impressive race from Michael, and he's going to come across the line to take the win. Now, Doom will come across the line to get second, but will he keep it or not? Due to his 15,000 time penalties, I don't think he will, and he doesn't. Mitch takes second place off Doom. Doom will still finish in third. Let's hope so anyway, because if he doesn't, it'll make me look very stupid. Lambo comes home in 4th place. Good result for him. Rick in 5th place, and again another good result for him. Quintero in 6th. Neo moves up to 6th place, and Quintero down to 7th. Gary, who got wing damage at the start, couldn't really show his pace. He'll finish in the points in 8th place. Spine, who had that off with Killer Blue, he'll finish in 9th place. And yeah, it's been the Spanish Grand Prix. Just going to wait for Spine now to cross the line. I think Spine needs his teammate McSendit, who couldn't be here tonight. And that is the Spanish Grand Prix. Michael finally getting his much deserved race win, with Mitch coming home in 2nd place and Doom in 3rd. So sort of the same podium we've seen throughout the most part of this season. And Doom rocking the Brendan Lee. Get that well off my screen. So it's Michael who takes the win with Mitch in 2nd, and Mitch actually being the only driver to not get a time penalty, so fair play to Mitch. Doom in 3rd, Lambo in 4th, Rick in 5th, Neo in 6th, Quintero in 7th, Gary in 8th, Spine in 9th, and Decky, who did disconnect but did finish in P10. Outside the points, Haribo in 11th, Killer Blue 12th, Odom's 13th, Louis 14th, and Smithy in 15th. So, driver of the day, I'd be inclined to give it to Michael, but yeah, I'm going to give it to Michael. First win of the season, started P4, made some good overtakes. You know, special shout out to Mitch for not getting any time penalties, being the only driver to not do that before Louis retired. So fair play to Mitch as well for being consistent and clean. But yeah, that's been the Spanish Grand Prix, and PRL will be streaming from my channel every week now, because I did talk to the guys running the league, and I said that I wanted to stream it from my channel, and they agreed to it. So I will see you same time next week for the Monaco Grand Prix. There will be no podium interviews today because I've got to literally shoot off for dinner right now. So I'll see you guys next week for Monaco. Hope you can tune in. My name's been Cliffy. This has been PRL. Thank you and goodbye.